it's Girlies versus TBR. I'm Mari.
I'm Alyssa.
And today we have a book chats for you. We have I got abducted by aliens and now I'm trapped in a rom-com.
That's a long title.
Very long title.
By Kimberly Lemming.
Kimberly! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Obviously, in our book chats, we're talking about, like, the whole book. Quotes, plot, ending, everything. So, there's a spoiler alert for this if you haven't read it yet. We will be talking in detail about the book. If you don't plan on reading it, you can watch our synopsis.
Take a shot whenever we say chaotic.
First off, I want to say, you know this.
Yes.
I literally finished reading Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver at like 10:30 p.m. one night. And I was like, okay, I have to read the next one that we're doing for the book chats. And so I like literally tried to start this one immediately after ending Scythe and Sparrow at 10:30 at night. And I just want to read the first line because I immediately read the line and I was like, I need to go to bed.
It's such a good line, though.
Yeah, it says, "Thicken nugget, you evil bitch, stop murdering half the desert," I muttered from behind my camera. As expected, Thicken nugget ignored my request. And I was like, listen, I have no idea what's happening. I was like, I need to start this another day.
Yeah, you kind of get immediately thrown into the chaotic, beautifully bizarre story.
Yeah.
I can't imagine starting this like immediately right after.
Yeah, I didn't even finish processing Scythe and Sparrow really, and then I just like started this one, and I was like, what is happening? I was like, we need to start another day.
So if you haven't added this to your TBR, just that one, the first line.
Yeah.
You definitely should add it.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
so funny. Just the overall vibe of this book is hilarious. I think it's her funniest book yet. Like all of her other ones, the Mead Mishap series, very funny. I laughed so much, but like this one is just hilarious.
Yeah. I think throughout reading this, I texted you multiple times that this was the most absurd book I have ever read in like such a good way.
Really
like
good
it's
way.
it's just so absurd that I'm just like, she was really, I feel like I need to write monster smut and include the funniest things in it, the most ridiculous things, and she just did it, and then she published it. Like, it's amazing, but it's so absurd.
Yeah, there's like a pink T-Rex.
Yeah.
Tamagotchis.
Yeah.
And a lion that you could talk to.
Yeah, a talking lion.
Named Toto, by the way.
Yeah.
After the Wizard of Oz.
The little owl aliens that abduct her. They look like owls, but they're aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, it's so random.
I think in her author's note or acknowledgments, like she says like, thank you to my agent and publisher for letting me write such a chaotic book.
Yeah.
And you know what? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, because we needed this.
Yeah. Yes.
And if
absolutely.
you need like a humorous book to get into and you need it like to be short, kind of palate cleanse your mind, this is the perfect book to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I believe it's gonna be a series. It's called like Chaotic Cosmos or something.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Cosmic Chaos.
I was so close yet so far. Cosmic Chaos series.
That makes sense.
Number one. Yeah.
This is chaotic.
It's so chaotic in the best way.
I just can't wait for another one.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Yeah. I would say like if like a reading slump or you don't know what to read next and you just need something like literally so absurd and fun and spicy and aliens, then like, because it's short and sweet. Yeah,
the audiobook is like 9 hours, I believe, without being sped up. Obviously, if you read on like 1.7 speed, it's like a 4 to 5 hour book. Yeah, I read I listen to my audiobooks kind of fast just because I feel like it has to be like a natural conversation for me. Like it can't just be like, I got abducted by aliens and now I'm trapped in a rom-com.
That's how I have to listen to them. So that I actually pay attention.
I can't. I feel like my brain is like, oh my God. But yeah, the audiobook was really good too.
Yeah. I haven't listened to I probably will listen to the audio.
I listened on Spotify. Just
It's
'cause I
on
had
Spotify, huh?
Yeah, I had my 15 hours.
I'll probably listen to it eventually. Sometimes I do that, like when I'm trying to get into another series or something, I will like listen to like pick an audiobook of the book that I've already read before. Just so I'm not like starting something new, but I still want to listen to an audiobook.
Was listening and tabbing at the same time. It was a great experience for me. I was like, that is so funny. Narrator was really, really good. I want to point out the map. It's so... Okay, Planet Waffles. Okay. I just want to point out a few of the names that is here. So there's like Powdered Donuts in this corner. Powdered Donuts. We all like powdered donuts.
Is that a city or a mountain range?
I think
it might be a mountain range
because of the snow or whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there's Mountain and Gravy, which is another mountain range.
Yeah.
Church of Cheese has to be something visually.
Yeah. I also worship cheese. So.
Oh, and then we have Hot Coffee. Right in this area.
She does talk about wanting coffee throughout the book, so
yeah, I'm surprised that there's no chocolate. Eggs in Purgatory. It's just the names are so Benedict Beach.
There's also clans on here that we did not learn about yet.
Blood Cry.
Yeah. There's Night Ridge.
Frittata. The Brunch Pass. It sounds like when we go to brunch and it's just like
yeah.
Drink mimosa after mimosa.
Yeah.
And then Center Bagel. I appreciate the names, like the food names. And I just loved it. It's just like so ridiculous.
She ends up naming the whole Planet Waffles because they have this whole story about how no one has wanted to name the planet because the previous guy, his head ended up on a spike.
Yep.
And so no one's wanted to name it since. And so they're like, quick, think whatever comes to your mind, just think of it, and that's going to be the name of the planet. And she goes, Waffles! So the whole planet is named Waffles.
It was...
Bulkovar?
Bulkovar? Bulcovar.
Waffles is better.
I don't know. I just think all the elements, like the names, what happens in the book is just so chaotic. Yeah. And it just meshes really well. Like, it's not serious whatsoever.
No, it's not a serious book.
Even when, like, we sort of, like, get to, like, a sort of serious point, it's still, like, resolved.
Yeah.
In a chaotic way.
I tabbed a bunch, but most of my tabs are just literally anything that, like, made me laugh.
Same.
That's how many tabs I have for this little book.
I could have tabbed a little bit more.
Your tabs are, like, all nice and neat. Mine are, like...
I tried. Just like
I know.
So for the spice level of this book, Mead Mishaps is spicy. Okay, we get some language and some, you know, like it's explicit.
Yeah,
like explicit. But this one, she freaking was like, yeah, let me turn it up 10 notches.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, I'm gonna deliver some dark romance level spice.
Yeah, speechless.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously we both read romance, so, like, we've read stuff like that that's in this book before, but was expecting Mead Mishaps, where I was like, okay, I haven't read it yet, but I figured there's, like, 1 to 2, you know, like, explicit scenes in Mead Mishaps. It's more like cozy fantasy. That's what I'm assuming, yeah, no, this is not that at all. I think I texted you, it was like page 80.
Yes, I remember.
It was page 80 and they're already getting into it. Her and both of her mates.
Both of her boyfriends.
Yeah.
I kind of went into it without reading the back. Like, I read a little bit, but obviously I read her before, so I immediately bought it. I didn't care what the book was about. Obviously, on here it says lions and dinosaurs and sexy aliens. But, like, I wasn't expecting 2.
Yeah, there's 1 on the cover.
Just 1.
There's just 1 on the cover.
So I wasn't expecting 2.
Yeah.
And then I was like...
I would just say right here, though.
But we don't read that. We didn't read that, even though it says it. When things were happening, I was like...
Yeah.
Oh my God. Everything I ever wanted. No, I really like reading either, like, a throuple situation or a reverse harem. So when I... was like, whoa, there's gonna be 2 mates. I was so excited. Yeah, those scenes. Yeah, We're going to talk about one of the scenes because it's really funny.
One of the, like, first things that kind of happens in the book, she's a wildlife biologist, and she is, like, filming and observing meerkats. Mm-hmm. And she turns, and there's a lion charging right at her. And the lion rips her throat out and kills her, basically. You learn a little bit later that she was supposed to die. But before that, she gets beamed up into the owl alien spaceship, and they basically, like, save her. They change her anatomy so that she would be compatible with another alien race in order to repopulate that alien race. Mm-hmm. You catch my drift. She then gets dropped on the alien planet after escaping the owl alien ship. The lion decides to escape with her. And so he runs into the escape pod with her.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah,
right now.
she, like, literally thinks the lion is gonna, like, attack her and kill her as soon as she gets into the escape pod. Mm-hmm. It's like the doors are closing situation. She's, like, this close to freedom, and then the lion comes through. She has some, is it like a serum that allows her to talk to them?
I believe she was injected by a serum, and then if she kisses them or some type of, like, physical contact,
the lion licks her face.
Mm-hmm. And then I know for, like, her to talk to the aliens, she, like, kisses them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's how, like, she is able to communicate.
Yeah, so then the lion starts talking to her.
And she's like, what the fuck? Yeah. I feel like this whole thing is like a fever dream.
Yeah, honestly it is.
You think you know what's gonna happen.
And she ends up giving the lion a name, because she's like, oh, so what's your name? And he, like, growls, and she's like, I can't pronounce that. I'm gonna give you a name. And he's like, make sure it's a good, strong name. And she's like, okay, Toto.
Her mind is so funny, because that's, like, the first thing she comes up with. She's not thinking about it. She's just like, yeah, Toto.
And Toto is, like, freaking hilarious. He's, like, constantly wanting to, like, eat people. And she's like, no, like, they might not be, you know, bad. You can't eat them. But he also, like, helps her. They kind of, like, at first form an alliance to, like, survive together. And then they kind of, like, become friends and stuff. Toto is just hilarious. And then Toto falls in love with a saber-toothed tiger.
Oh my god, there's one
on the planet.
There's one tab. Locke reached out a hand and helped me up. How did it go with your new woman, Toto? Incredible. The word came out muffled around the egg in his mouth. He swallowed and continued. I barely escaped with my life. And then she goes, oh shit, are you okay? I asked, and noticed the claw marks on his back. No, I am not okay. I'm so in love, I could cry. I just want to settle down with her and any sisters she may have and raise a whole mess of cubs. Now, open up your log. This man is such a simp. And he's not even a man. It's a lion.
Yeah.
Toto is a simp. It's like a creature.
Saber-toothed tiger. It's a saber-toothed tiger from, like, the Ice Age. Because there's other animals. Well, we'll get into that. But it's a saber-toothed tiger.
You know what's funny is that Diego popped up in my head from Ice Age.
Isn't he a sloth?
That's Sid. She's so unbothered. Doesn't want to give him the time of day.
She doesn't want him near her.
No, not
She's
at all.
like, you can sleep over there. And he's like, in love.
Please stop.
Yeah.
Come to me.
Yeah.
I want to be with you. What's this? Toto asked. It's just a scratch. A love mark.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
He's delusional.
The Lulu.
Toto does save the day multiple times, so
yes.
It's fine. We do like him.
We love Toto.
So another funny quote from Toto is, like, soon after they can talk to each other and they crash land on the alien planet Waffles. They're trying to escape a dinosaur trying to eat them. And then they come across another alien, Saul, first. He sees that Toto has, like, a gash in his leg. So he goes to help Toto, but Toto doesn't quite know what's happening, right? Because they don't know anything about this planet. And so Toto says, you gray bastard, I'll eat your heart and shit your dreams. Let go of me. And then later he says, you runt of the litter, I'll kill you. Dory is just like, wait, I think he's just trying to heal your leg. And he's like, oh, okay, well, he could have warned me. Toto is just like, yeah, super aggressive, like, all the time. Like, he wants to be super aggressive all the time. She has to, like, rein in his lion instincts. Yeah.
I gotta.
He's like,
assert my dominance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, calm down.
The whole reason, we kind of mentioned it before, but the whole reason that the owl aliens are abducting her, and we find out later other women, is because they accidentally kind of destroyed a whole planet. And the aliens that had survived that were, like, his kind, Saul's kind of aliens. And they basically took, like, the survivors and put them on a new planet. And then they found out that human women were compatible. And they were like, oops, we only took men. And now we need to, like, give them someone to breed with. Now they're, like, abducting human women that, like, would have died otherwise, changing their anatomy so they're more compatible, and then dropping them on this alien planet. And we meet a little owl alien guy who is the intern. He basically explains that they modeled this whole planet after Earth, which sounds great. But we find out that they did 3 days of research.
Only 3 days.
Only 3 days of research on what humans would want and, like, what humans need. Again, the most absurd thing ever. And so she lands on the planet, and there's, like, literal dinosaurs. And later she asks the intern, like, why are there dinosaurs on this planet? There's dinosaurs, there's animals from, like, the Ice Age. Animals that should never go together.
No.
And plants that should never go together. Which she knows, because she's a wildlife biologist. The little intern just goes, well, we, like, replicated DNA from, you know, these animals that you guys had. They were, like, on display. They're, like, in a whole thing. And she's like, a museum? And he's like, yeah! And basically they went into, like, a museum of natural history. Took dinosaur DNA and were like, this must be their animals they have on Earth, and then, like, put them on the planet. So it's just, again, like, the most absurd thing, and, like, they thought they were doing good because they did literally 3 days of research. So there's just dinosaurs roaming around on the planet as well, including the pink T-Rex.
Yeah,
as well.
Pink T-Rex is everything. It's pink. On page 64, bringing my hands up to my face, I prayed for the strength not to drop kick that fucking bird. Yes, all of them are museums relatively close to the college I used to go to, I began. Breathing deep, I tried to rein in the growing anger in my voice. All museums that have a focus on dinosaurs? I stressed the last word, failing spectacularly at keeping my anger in check. He goes, his voice warbled as he spoke, are dinosaurs not animals from your planet? The lack of information and knowledge of you're trying to replicate, missing the whole thing.
Random trees and stuff. She's like, I wanted a Target, I wanted a Starbucks. Where's the coffee? Where's the chocolate? Like, the whole book. She's like, I didn't want this. We need other things. Like, she's like, I'm at a grocery store.
And she got none of that.
Nope.
And, like, that's part of a plot, too. Like, point plot is that, she was like, yeah, for me to, like, want to mate, I need coffee and chocolate. Because that's the way to a girl's heart, essentially.
And the intern is like, okay. And, like, writes it down. And he's like, we're going to figure out how to get coffee and chocolate.
Yeah, and they started kind of, like, planting cocoa.
They did at the end. But didn't he also... The intern tried to milk the T-Rex that was also for the chocolate, wasn't it?
It's just so weird.
Yeah, so, like, the intern gets in trouble, and they're like, what happened? And he was like, it was the T-Rex. And they're like, what did you do? And he's like, I tried to milk the T-Rex. And I think it was for the chocolate.
Okay, I just wanted to go through some of, like, the really funny sentences that I have. There was one that I just cackled really hard when I read it. It starts at the end of page 70. She goes, I was exhausted, frustrated, and egregiously horny on an alien planet with no way home. Even then, if I wasn't taken to help some alien race with my species-saving coochie, I'd have fucking died in that lion attack. There are so many lines like that I just was like, what the fuck?
When she is talking about that, the intern, like, injects them with serum that makes them want to be mates, basically. So it's like they're making mates in order to reproduce the alien species on the planet.
It's like a mix of, like, an aphrodisiac with a mating bond. I don't think it has a name. I don't remember
the serum,
it
no,
having
I don't think
a
so.
name like at all.
But all you need to know is it makes the aliens irresistible.
She found them attractive before.
Yeah.
The whole
I mean, they're like giant men, so yeah.
They're fine as fuck. And she knows that. She was like, damn, I'm not trying to, fall in love within, like, 3 days?
Yeah.
Because this all happens very fast. Like, less than a week, I think. It's just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. When she first meets the aliens and stuff, and they're trying to figure out, like, what are you? What am I kind of thing. She goes to hang her clothes up and like take off her shoes. So she takes off her shoes and then Soul like freaks the fuck out. And he said, what in the twin moons is wrong with your hooves, woman? Because, we didn't mention it. These aliens have hooves.
Oh, yeah. There's no feet.
They don't have feet. It's hooves.
They don't have
They're like,
limbs.
yeah. They're like what kind of legs is that?
It's like
goat legs, kind of, yeah.
Hooves.
They're just like, what do you mean? And then he goes, you poor thing, do you have hoof rot? And she says, oh, you must mean my feet. Lifting my foot, I wiggled my toes at him, only to stop when it looked like he might throw up. Soul's body lurched and he covered his mouth. What are those disgusting appendages? That cracked me up. So they just like don't understand that she has like regular like human feet. They're just like visibly disgusted. Like later she's like, I need to put my toes away before this man like pukes.
I remember texting you and saying, yeah, there's gonna be no feet fetish on this planet at all.
They do not like that.
No, because then later on, that kind of like saves them.
Yeah.
It's so funny. At the end of 218, it says, with a yank, I pulled my foot free of the boot, ripped off my sock, then raised my foot toward our assailants and screamed, hoofra! The reaction was immediate. The faces of our attackers twisted into horrified grimaces. The two charging forward skittered to a halt. One slipped on the cobblestones and frantically crab walked backward to get away from my foot. For extra effect, I wiggled my toes and hopped closer to them. The guard in the rear retched and took off running. I turned to wiggle my toes at the man in the alleyway, only to find him long gone, his spear clanking against the stone floor as if it had been recently dropped. The man on the ground looked up to see that he had been left for dead in the face of my disease-ridden foot, scrambled upright only to slip on his friend's vomit, vomited himself, then tried again and took off.
So basically, her toes saved them from being killed.
Yeah, and then she goes, yeah, y'all got some serious issues with feet.
They're trying to escape like a rivaling king's encampment, and they come down like an alleyway that there's like guards at the either end, and she's like, okay, let me just like wiggle my toes at them.
Yeah, and then Soul, I think, is the one that is like, wow, I can't believe that actually worked. She saved them with the feet. Wild statement to say. We also meet another woman, Blair. She actually gets injected with the serum by intern, gets mated to the rival king guy.
The evil like king guy who's like trying to attack everybody.
Yeah, and she's like, what the fuck?
Blair is funny.
I can't wait for her story. I'm sure that's the next one.
She's very like, fuck this and fuck you. Give me my gun so that we can go home.
She tried shooting him.
Yeah.
And accidentally almost shot Dory.
Yeah.
I think she actually started bleeding.
Yeah.
But yeah, also Dory.
Yeah.
We didn't mention this at the beginning, but Dory is the main character's name, and I just kept thinking of Finding Nemo, even though that's not the reason why she was named Dory.
Because her name's Dorothy and Toto.
So freaking cute.
The
next book is going to be even more chaotic.
Yeah.
Especially with the energy we were getting from Blair and that guy King
Osid or something.
King of whatever.
Yeah.
He wanted to take over and all that. And Dory's like, just move your settlement.
Yeah. He was having this whole problem of like the dinosaurs and all the animals attacking his settlement. And she's like, kind sir, you're in the migration path. You need to move. And so there's literally this whole like battle and stuff where they're like trying to battle it out basically. And she's just like, you just need to move.
All that just to move.
Resolve.
Nothing in this book is serious. So
yeah,
I just love that. And my brain was like, wow, we don't have to worry about nothing.
Yep.
It's just great. And Dory's just so smart that she's like, yeah, just move. And he's like, oh, that's all I gotta do. So he's not bad after all. Like, he has some issues. And we'll see in the next book. But it's fine. That's what Intern's role is, because he also was promoted.
Because he was successful in getting Dory and her mates to actually be mates and fall in love. The first spicy scene, she has both her mates, okay? And again, she is like shot with the serum that is an aphrodisiac, And she's like, okay, let's do this. Yeah. You want to help me out?
Yeah, I'll help you out. Do we know
I
what
don't
page
know
it is?
how, like, explicit to, like, I tabbed where she
tabbed.
says her fingers don't fit around it. He also says, on your knees, Stardust. And she says, my knees hit the ground before I can even pretend to have an ounce of remaining feminism.
After they mated, right, Locke and Soul are knotted, right? They can't pull free at all. Like, at all. Essentially, a velociraptor started chasing them.
Yeah.
And they still have not been able to disconnect.
They
cannot separate. They are locked in. Locked in. So she is literally, like, just sandwiched. Locke has to carry both of them.
Yeah. So,
while running away, still connected.
From the velociraptor.
The velociraptor.
I just imagine him running like crab running.
Yeah, kind of like waddling.
Because he literally has her in front of him and then Soul behind her. And so he has to carry both of them and run away from the velociraptor.
His eggplant is literally just locked in.
So,
what the fuck? I was not expecting that. That shit was...
It's the most absurd thing I've ever read. I'm telling you.
It is so funny. Wow, they finally, mated. And it's like, now they're running away.
They're like running for their lives.
I've never in my life...
Still attacked by the peepees.
The intern is just there. He's... Like, the intern is always there.
Yeah, he's just watching, he's observing,
writing notes,
making sure everything is going well, taking video. Throughout the book, you're kind of like, yeah, he's like the alien that kind of abducted them or whatever, but he's like tiny and like mostly harmless, almost gets attacked most of the time. And so you kind of forget his role in the whole thing because he's like, I'm just the intern, like, I don't know. And then later it turns out that he's like kind of evil.
I kind of picture a commercial where how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Yeah.
You know that owl? I just imagine that owl. But like smaller. And just like, and the statistics. And then blah, blah, blah. He is a bit evil.
Yeah. So all he knows, again, from their 3 days of research.
3 days.
About like humans like falling in love and stuff. He reads from like one book and he's like, they really harp on this only one bed thing, like the only one bed trope. And so they build a whole cul-de-sac of houses, but every single house has only one bed. So like they have to like literally live in separate houses if they want to have their own bed. And then the owl guy intern is like, that can't happen. So he literally destroys every single house but one to get them to sleep in only one bed.
Dory's like, stop. Like, I need space for my feelings to grow.
Yes.
And by the way, it is measured by a Tamagotchi. A Tamagotchi, her affection is like leveled. So basically her bars will rise towards Soul or Locke whenever something happens. It's funny because like she's trying to get like her feelings all like kind of lined up and like every time something happens all you hear is the Tamagotchi go off like in the background like basically it's just, and she's just like
so basically like, anytime she starts to fall for them a little bit more it's like doo-doo-doo, like off in the background and she's like, god damn it.
And she can't even lie.
Yeah, she can't
because
lie.
Soul and Locke are there and they're like, oh, the bar went up.
Yeah, and they fight over it.
Yeah, it's so freaking funny.
But then also she's like, listen, like I need some space, like we need to pine for the people that like we love. We need to pine. We need some time apart. And then the intern takes that and is like, okay, well, like we're gonna put one of you guys in a dire situation where you almost get killed because you need time apart. So they're in this dire situation. They have to like go save Soul, right? Yeah, Soul first. Then they later find out the owl did it. The fucking intern like turned on them. And it was like, well, I just figured you have two mates, so it's fine if one accidentally dies.
And Dory's like, fuck, no.
Yeah.
I love both of them.
She's like, I need both of them.
Yeah.
And so they go and they save them both. She has to save Soul, and then she also has to save Locke.
They both got
and then they gotta save her. That was a twist, though. I did not see it coming where the owl was like,
Me either. Yeah. I was like, what's the actual quote? And to be honest, we could always, like, debate on whether or not he is actually evil because he's just like fueled by like his position. Yeah. And
he's like, I'm doing my job because my whole point of my job is basically to make sure you guys mate and produce babies to populate
successful.
this planet.
Yeah.
The owl was like, when they figure it out, the owl says, I admit I didn't think Locke would end up getting himself assassinated when I separated you two, but fortunately, you have a spare. And then Dory says, what do you mean you separated us? And then he laughs, pulls out the Tamagotchi, and says, look at your affection meter. You said it yourself, didn't you? Humans need time apart to sort out their feelings. What did you call it again? Ah, that's right. Pining. And then that's the point where you're like, intern Al is evil. He's still, like, I think he's still alright. He's just, like, misguided. You know, he doesn't, like, he's trying to just, like, do his job or whatever, but it's like, you're playing with people's lives here, okay?
I just can't wait for Blair's story.
Dude, I know.
That guy is
They literally want to kill each other. Yeah.
That's where we left off.
He keeps kidnapping her.
And she's like, I don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Has her gun and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I'm really excited for Dory and Blair to kind of, like, become friends.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're sort of friends, but, like, it's not, like, it wasn't developed fully.
Yeah.
Plus, she almost killed Dory with her gun.
Yeah.
But
that was an accident.
That was an accident. You know, they don't really, like, there's not a lot of women, and I love female friendships.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. We didn't really, it was more of, like, they were friends because of the situation. Like, they were trying to help each other out because they were both human women stuck on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of, like, see their friendship kind of develop.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of reminds me of, which I think you read that series too, the Naga Brides.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Naga Brides as well. Is it Naomi Lucas?
Yes.
Yeah. Where, like, again, these women are, like, stuck on this alien planet with the Nagas, and they each have a mate, and they're, like, the women are trying to help each other and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it kind of reminded me of that. And I did like that aspect of the Naga Brides as well.
I was also very much reminded immediately of Ice Planet Barbarians.
Yeah.
Because they do get kidnapped.
Mm.
It's a different reason why they got kidnapped, because the blue aliens actually helped them escape from the bad aliens. There was no idea of breeding or, you know, reproducing. But then they do need to reproduce, because if not, their alien species would die, too. Mm-hmm. So it kind of has the same vibe.
We do think Blair's going to be the next one. They mentioned there's other women that were also dropped. So, honestly, it's like an undetermined amount of women. You know, it could be a lot of books.
Yeah, it could be a lot of books.
Yeah. I mean, they're like little novellas. So, like, I feel like she could keep
I don't
going.
mind reading, like, a bunch of these.
Yeah.
Because Ice Planets is, like, 40 books.
Yeah.
She wants to write 40 books. I'll read all of them.
Yeah.
Like, this one was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And the audio, oh my god.
I know, I gotta do the audio.
Yeah, it's so good. Highly recommend.
Toward the end, like, Toto was with her the whole time, right? And so he sees her whole journey. He sees how, like, upset she is. She doesn't get to finish her PhD and, like, impress everybody in her family because she feels like she doesn't live up to their standards and stuff. But
especially her mom, yeah.
Yeah. And at the end, Toto is like, but you did all of this. And so he says, no, I mean it. You survived where most wouldn't. More than that, you faced off against predators thrice your size, protected your mates, and somehow calmed that mad king, from what I was told. Your mother can kiss a mamba. Even without proof, you should hold those accomplishments high. If it's worth anything, if even one of my daughters turned out to be anything like you, I'd be proud to call them my own.
That is so freaking sweet.
It's so cute.
It's so sweet. And, like, throughout this whole book, she basically is, like, so distraught of dying before she even got her PhD and can prove to her mom, like, that's what she wanted. You know, she just wanted to have her mom acknowledge that she, you know, is doing great for herself. And so when Toto said that, I was like,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so sweet.
Yeah. It's like she still accomplished, like,
You're so excited.
It's okay. Even though she didn't accomplish that, she still accomplished so many great things that she should be proud of, so.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, oh, it's cute.
She knows so much about environments, about the plants. She can take care of this world. Imagine being able to do that on a wholly different planet. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, I think that's all we have to say about this book. A lot of, like, bizarre things combined into just chaos.
This video is probably going to be chaotic, but, like,
It's
the book is chaotic, so
same vibe.
Yeah.
we highly recommend. Very short, sweet, funny. Kimberly Lemming is just amazing. The way that she was able to pitch this to her publisher and be like, this needs to be printed.
Yeah.
The story needs to be written. I appreciate it so much. I don't know. I think everyone should read this.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's a good story. And also, if you need some monster smut, highly recommend.
Monster smut.
Monster smut.
We are here all the time.
Well, I guess technically alien, but same thing.
It's part of it.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's part of it. We really enjoyed this read. Thank you for watching this book chat of just so much going on.
Yeah. Let us know if you're going to read it in the comments.
Yeah. Tell us your favorite part of the book if you've read it.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it, definitely do so. Audiobook is great too. That's all we got to say.
Okay, bye.
Bye.